Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gyle here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. My God, it feels good to be saying that again. How the hell are you guys? I've been a terrible friend. What has it been, guys? 6 months, something like that, since my last serious cast. For those of you that don't know, haven't followed my Facebook page, or haven't spoken to me much in FAF, don't know much about my life, I made a few massive life changes. I got married. I took on officially 2 stepkids, although I was essentially their stepdad already, but I officially took them on. I bought a house. I've got a baby daughter on the way, and I bought a puppy. So I did what normal people would probably take 5 years to do, and I did it in 6 months. And many of you will not be surprised to hear that YouTube doesn't exactly pay the bills very well. So I've been working my butt off to pay for it all. But I think I've managed to secure a weekly time slot which should allow me to get at least 1 or 2 casts out to you guys a week, which is just the single greatest news I've heard since I found out about my baby daughter. So I'm thrilled. It means I get to spend more time with you guys. I get to spend more time with the greatest RTS game ever made. And I am super excited about it. Many of you as well will be surprised to see that FAF is still going by my last cast or message out to the community. If you remember, I was worried about the collapse of FAF. I sounded a little bit miserable, or as I could put it a different way, like I was perhaps a parking ticket away from a suicide attempt. I was a little bit down to think that it was all going to pieces, but we were saved in the end by a benevolent ruler. Most of you will know all this, of course, but I know there are a few of you out there who don't actually play on FAF. They just enjoy watching the casts, so this is more for the benefit of you guys. Zep, our previous leader, had enough of the game, got a bit stressed out, ended up selling it to a guy called Visionik, who has a much more democratic view of how things should be run, which is fantastic news for the community. It means that we will now hopefully be governed by consensus rather than opinion of single players there. My God, that's how long I've been prattling on. Look, the intro movie in the background has ceased. Never mind. But yeah, so hopefully it will mean that we have secured more or a longer lease on our little community here, because people get very upset when their opinions aren't consulted, and consensus, although it might take a lot longer to get through change and stuff, ultimately I think it's going to be better for the health of the community, which is great news. So I'm very excited about it. There have been a lot of changes while I'm away. I'm sure I have absolutely no idea what's going on, so please bear with me if I am chatting rubbish about things during the cast and they've been changed. I hope you understand why. But anyway, I thought we'd kick off this new season, if you will, with some tip-top level ladder action coming your way from Vier 3 Protectorate. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. My God, it's like a little nostalgia trip. So excited. It's amazing. Let's take a look at our 2 players here. Up here at the top right in the red corner, he's going Seraphim. It's the one and only StefanD there, opening first land and then going second air, plonking that down. Both of them, in fact, using a little bit of a bonus there from the mass extractors. And then down here in the bottom left-hand corner, my good friend and fellow caster, TA4Life. He may have augmented his name with that no-lag thing, and I have absolutely no idea what that means. But I'm sure he's just as fun and attractive as he always was. Anyway, he's going Cybrin, which I'm devastated about. He's opening first land and second air. So basically off the start of this thing, not too much difference between these 2 guys. Haven't seen a lot of play on this map, I was about to say, for a long time. Well, that would be because you haven't cast a game in 6 months, Gyle. So yeah, of course, it's going to be a long time. But quick recap of how things look. You've got the 4 starting spaces on this map, typically a good 2v2 map, but works just as well in ladder. So 2 spare bases that can be grabbed. There's tons and tons of reclaimable mass in the shape of these strange... Oh, there's kind of tree things, I guess, kicking around the map. So plenty of reclaim to be had, and there's of course this massive neutral base in the center with some eruptors kicking around the edge, which will make a nasty mess of you and your early T1 units should you get too close. Couple of Selens out there for StefanD, these combat scouts moving over towards TA4Life side of the map. Let's see if we can get any intel on where they're headed. So StefanD wanting to scout these early expansion points next to TA's base. Not too bad. Yeah, the other Selens coming up here to that one as well. Meanwhile, we've got patrol routes out for TA, probably wanting to cut down that early scouting from Stefan. Not doing too well though. That scout plane getting through there and probably getting a decent amount of intel. Yeah, you can see exactly what's gone on there. How does that equate from TA side of things? Well, TA has got a scout plane in the air and he's got past the edge of the base, but all he's seen so far is a PGen and a couple of mexes. That's it. He does know though that Stefan has moved his comm out of the base to get a little bit of extra build power on that left hand expansion there. First little bit of ground warfare kicking off down here, and it's a Tham versus a couple of Mantis. That's going to go well for the Mantis, not so well for Stefan. They're hoping presumably to pick off that engineer. Got a couple of rounds in it. Look, took him down to 81 HP, but not enough to deny the construction of that base. Conversely, TA4Life deciding to keep his comm inside the main base. Going to keep that extra build power centralized. Probably means he's going for a little bit of extra tech there, and already getting some upgrades on those mexes. 2 T2s online, and he's just a snifter ahead of StefanD in the mass stakes. And of course, curse the commentator, as soon as I say it, Stefan catches up and then overtakes. Brilliant. That's great. It's just what we like to see. A lot more ground units on the field there for Stefan than TA. Quite a heavy push, looking like it's coming down the eastern edge of this map. Mantis is picking off the forward units there. And remember, this should go, if it goes according to script or plan, this game should go in favor of TA, being as there's maybe 250 ladder points between these two guys. And defensively speaking on this little attack, certainly seems to be going to plan. Stefan going to have to move away, but he has got a Zooey and another couple of Thams coming in from up here. Manages to take down one of the mexes. But TA now running away with things mass-wise. 51 to 30 for a moment there. And we've got T2 on the field as well. So one upgraded T2 air factory. So TA4Life going heavy air tech right off the bat. How does that compare? We've got no tech by the looks of things on the way as yet for Stefan. So he's going on a much more heavy mass T1 land spam route rather than any kind of early tech. It's so hard. He's got so many land factories kicking about the map. It's tough to see if any of them are being upgraded, but it looks like they're all producing spam for the moment. Another little push coming in on the western edge of the map there from Stefan. A couple of vulnerable mexes potentially there for TA. TA presumably going to want to get some renegades out quickly, some T2 gunships, and cut down on Stefan's expansion. It's usually the route you want to go on a map like this. And you're going early T2 air. Try and get that air-to-ground power in play. At the moment he's trying to secure the airspace, just producing inties. It's got a decent amount. In fact, let's see how the air power stacks up. 23 interceptors on the field for TA4Life against the paltry 8 from Stefan. So he's definitely got a healthy advantage in the air, but he's going to need to get some air-to-ground power going soon, because he's starting to lose initiative on the ground. All Stefan needs to do is get some anti-air locked in around here, and this is going to be hard to dislodge. He's slightly further behind here, but of course more build power in the area with the comm on the expansion down there, so he can expand into that top left starting location without too much difficulty. And we have got some T2 ground in play as well, so TA4Life going all tech here. Rhinos out in front, forced to retreat though in the wake of heavy numbers. Stefan actually manages to take out that eastern expansion there. He's going to lose a couple of fans, but he won't worry about that. Incidentally, guys, I have been suffering from what has been the world's worst and longest colds, so I'm trying my hardest not to cough and splutter down the mic. But if I do perforate your eardrums, please don't sue me. Given fair warning. So TA with a little bit of a breakthrough there in the west. One renegade, 2 renegades out, and no anti-air in this body of troops at all for Stefan, so TA not going to be worried about that. This might concern him a little bit though. Has got an autogun in play, another one on the way, and only a couple of Zoos in there. Well, about 4 or 5, but the Rhinos moving in to tidy that up. But taking a look on the expansion side of things, TA does have to be careful. While he might have the more powerful units on the field, he is well behind on map control. 95 mass to 53 in favor of Stefan right now. Stefan as well with the power advantage. I think as TA4Life is going heavy air build, that's not where he wants to be at all. You can see he's trying to throw together about as many T2 P-gens as he can get his hands on. And now we're getting some T2 Seraphim tech in play. Ilshiva's joining the mix there for StefanD. Such an awesome unit they are. Renegades, meanwhile, move up to that top left-hand base. Takes down one of the mexes, but one quick push from Stefan is going to finish off the Renegades. But that will be the end of Stefan's air power. I believe TA4Life got far too many inties in the region, so he won't mind about losing those Renegades to take out Stefan's inties. He should have free reign now on movement around the field with those gunships. Rhinos continue to push east. One PD in place there for StefanD. Needs to be careful of. But other than that, should be able to dust aside everything down here in the southeastern corner. Stefan managed to take out the 2 PDs on his side in the neutral base, giving him all of this mass to reclaim, and of course the control of the 8 mexes in that central region. Mass now not as much in it as there was. 106 to 87 at current reading. Again, Stefan comes in with his inties, try and put the pressure on these gunships which are causing so much damage. Manages to take it out, but ultimately I'd imagine it's going to go back for TA. I don't know, there's actually a lot more inties in the area than I thought for Stefan. Continuously being reinforced, of course. It's the danger of fighting on your opponent's territory like that. Where are we at now with the air power? 2 interceptors on the field there for TA against the 33 of Stefan. This is critically bad now for TA. He has invested so much into that early air tech, and now he's lost the initiative in the skies. Sends out a couple of Renegades to put some pressure on in the middle, but I think he needs to be more concerned about this large wave of Ilshivas moving in on the left. And what's nice as well is we've got an Ioshiva in there as well, so decent mix of flax. He's going to want to protect that. Doesn't manage it, so Renegades should be able to put some pressure on now if he has any left. But of course Stefan rushing in with his interceptors to offer them some cover. TA has to pull his comm out of the center of the base now. He's going to need that overcharge to deal with it. He's got a full bar of power, so he should be able to overcharge without any difficulty, but TA going to be losing a few T2 reactors here. That's not ideal at all. Nice overcharge bags, about 3 of the Ilshivers, but T3 on the field now for TA. He's going a very tech-heavy build indeed. Bricks emerging in the nick of frickin' time. Will it be in time to save this final T2 P-Gen? No, won't. TA gotta be hurting after that on power. No, he's still generating enough from somewhere. I'm wondering if I missed a RAS upgrade. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, so we've got a resource allocation system on that comm, which couldn't be more welcome after losing all of that base power. It's going to give him a decent amount. And now we've got a T3 mobile anti-air as well, just shredding those inties from Stefan. Very nice work indeed from TA holding on here. A lot of pressure coming in from the red corner. Look at this map control. All of this in the hands of Stefan. Nice little push though in the east meanwhile. These rhinos containing Stefan's expansion down to the bottom right hand corner of the map. Actually making ground here. No artillery of his own in the area, so it's going to be tough to move in on that base. PD covering it nicely, but a couple of T2 mechs under pressure here as well. Now from Stefan, down they both go, and that gives a 50-odd mass advantage to StefanD, who is playing like an 1800 rating player here instead of a 1500. I know, of course, this is ladder instead of global, but even so, he has played a blinder here. Although there's decent T3 tech on the field for TA, this could be tough to come back from. And the ground that TA had made in the bottom right hand corner, I think, is about to be retaken. Stefan coming in there with a few Zuis and a couple of Ilshivers. Make a royal mess of those land factories and those energies down the bottom. So that is another wipe. And indeed, T3 Tech emerges from Stefan as well. Otham's make an appearance. And surely this is TA done for now as he gets hemmed into the bottom left-hand corner. Look at this map control. 183 mass to 100, nearly double the mass output, Stefan, of TA. Excuse me about that. A wave of Corsairs holding the fort at the moment for TA, but a lot of hives in there. Get the eco together, that could be useful at throwing together an experimental. A lot of build power really centralized around that air factory. Eventually throw out a bunch of strap bombers. You can get that up to T3 and get the power to sustain it. Go for a snipe or something. It really does feel like it could be getting to that stage of desperation where TA needs to start thinking about alternative strategies for winning this, because it's going to be tough to do it. Conventional war. Offense coming in up against this brick. It's going to go badly for the offense, I think. Brick's the hunky, manly equivalent of the Mantis. Last few units in the area of Stefan's there, just backing up towards the bottom. That has forged a lull in the activity for the moment. A front line of troops up here for TA, getting sniped by some sniper bots from Stefan, who's using a nice eclectic mix of units here. And those bricks are going to have to back up in the face of long-range fire. Corsairs brought in. Decent AoE damage. Takes down one of them, but damages a whole lot of others in the surrounding area. TA looks like he's going to march those in to their death. Trying to thin out that body of troops and delay it. There's not a lot on the ground down here. Cheeky little airdrop, though, into the back. Look at that. 2 Othams into the back. But love your thinking there, Stefan, but no real production on that. TA walks in with his comm and throws in an overcharge. But there's just not a lot on the field here for TA. What's your plan, sir? I'm very intrigued. Working on power, working on SAMs, working on more T3 ground units. The question is, can he get enough out to deal with this force that's coming in? Remember, these Othams are quite heavily damaged already. A wave of ASFs comes in from Stefan, announcing to the world he is T3 and proud, and has been for some time. Nice little push into the centre. Meanwhile, though, from TA, going to pick off a few mexes. Unfortunately for him, they're all at T1, so not going to have any real biting effect there into Stefan's eco. Just enough bricks thrown out there by TA to hold the fort, I think. That little push. Well, another little attack knocking at the door down here. Only T2, but again, all serves to hem TA4Life into his corner just a bit more. Stefan wasting a bit of time down here. Should at least be reclaiming or grabbing more mexes. His attention is elsewhere. Always so very difficult in this game to remember everything. Still focus on the broader picture. Sniper bot's moving into the middle. Doesn't want to front line them though. Wants to get the Othams out in front. As a result, it's a little minor win there for the bricks, who forced them back. Pretty certain I just heard a strap bomber somewhere, but I can't see it on the field for now. This is where all my subscribers are going, Gyle, it's there in the middle of the game. Do you not see that? So Stefan, while forging pretty good contain in this game, unable for the moment to deal a definitive killing blow as we approach the 30-minute mark in this one. Has allowed TA to expand again. Always so very difficult at the T3 stage to hold a Cybran opponent back without experimental power. Othams just don't cut the proverbial mustard against bricks. Bricks are just too strong. Stefan's still chilling under his shield at the back there. A little bit of TND defense guarding against the snipe. And we've got a nuke launcher in play, so that's TA's bag. Long way to go on producing the missile, but that could be very costly if Stefan doesn't notice that. And he has flown over it. He has vision on it. Question is, how much attention to TA's base is he paying? A few more bricks coming in from the west. where Seraphims cry that they don't have access to the T3 gunship. Let's take a look at the air power as it stands. That would be the mass T1 NG power. There we go, 62 ASFs running so far for Stefan, and 36 for TA. So TA going to want to stay out of any major engagements for the moment. Now we enter a little bit of a period of jostling for ground position. Lots of Othams on the field though. Bricks can't contend with that, especially with sniper bot cover from further back. TA enables stealth on his ASFs to defend his ground forces, but ultimately doesn't want a straight up fight with Stefan's very much larger group of fighters. We have got the odd strap bomber on the field for Stefan, and if TA was to lose that horde of ASFs, it'd be so easy for Stefan to chip away at the fringes of TA's base, and that nuke is building incredibly quickly. That is more than 75% complete, which could completely change the outlook of this game. Stefan completes T3 on his comm. So many bricks in here, but also, crucially, quite a lot of Ilshivers at the front that are soaking up damage. The Othams are still in play. And another push coming in the top as well. This is going to be very close indeed for TA. That nuke still about 10% or so to go. A little bit of a pathfinding fail there. That doesn't prove too costly for Stefan. He is practically in TA's base now. TA throwing together auto guns as quickly as he can to kill that NG. Any more of those being put online if he can. In fact, killing that ion reactor would be ideal. In come the ASFs, and there goes the air battle over the top of the base, but TA does complete the nuke. The question is, where's it heading, and will TA get under cover? There's a lot of Othams by the outside of his shielded area. That is going straight for Stefan's main base, which I can't see any nuke defense in at all. TA has taken a few shots. He's down to around 16,000 HP out of 20,000. But with the overcharge and the bricks to support, I think he's going to be okay. But what won't be okay is the center of Stefan's base, which takes a colossal hit and knocking him down a decent whack of mass, down to 240 odd mass. What's that done? That has absolutely wiped his power grid as well. Minus 3,700 net power. That's going to cause major issues with air production. However, in that last exchange, he has managed to take apart TA's air force. All that's left really giving him any decent coverage is that one Myrmidon. Takes a strap bomb there, but kills the strap bomber in the process. And now there are even more forces pouring down from Stefan. That was a valiant nuke from TA, but whether or not it's enough to turn the tables in this one, I just can't say. I mean, look at the mass differential as Stefan clearly gets his head around the power game once again, sorts it out. 384 to 122. That is extraordinary amount of difference between those two figures. And I think it's probably going to be too much for TA to overcome. Slowly, bit by bit, the air factories are unpaused and production resumes. TA has bought himself some time, but time for what is the question? Starting work on a Monkey Lord now. Give him one thing, he's been fantastic at focusing his production, and of course he's got a lot of mass in his base now to reclaim. You see the engineers going at it. Another little push coming in here from the east. So many bricks in that dense pile. Focusing in on the sniper bots at the front. The TA4Life reclaimed to this point 110,000, nearly 111,000 mass compared to the 83,000 from StefanD, and it's still not too bad when you consider the majority of the fighting has been down on TA's side of things. Of course, Stefan has had the rest of the map to pull apart pretty much for reclaim. You can see the massive bald areas. But that Monkey Lord is completed, and whether Stefan made a bit of a mistake here not sending those Othams in. Obviously he ideally wanted to sit there with his sniper bots and try and pick things off, but it's given TA enough time to complete this Monkey Lord. Those Othams just not going to pack enough damage, especially not with a huge hillock in the way, blocking half of the shots. Once again, TA survives another push and gets another nuke off incredibly quickly. TA balancing his eco nicely, keeping the production of that missile in check so easily easy to do if you're expending all of your mass to stall the build that have your missiles take forever to complete. But TA, obviously a seasoned vet, knows what he's doing. That's a beautiful little nuke there. 4 T3 mexes, all pretty much covered with mass storage. That's going to be over 100 mass that's gone in the toilet there for Stefan, which brings him down another huge notch to below 300, but still 297 to 119, still massively in favor of Stefan, who really could do with getting an experimental on line or something, and it's exactly what he thinks. He starts work on an Ethota there, a chicken. It'll take a little while to complete, not the greatest amount of build power in the area. So definitely what he needs to do. Probably worried about that Monkey Lord, which is marching up towards his main expansion. I cannot believe TA is still in this. This is an unbelievable passage of play from him there, all really stemming from that nuke launcher and what is some fantastic base defense that we've seen with those bricks. Very, very gutsy indeed. Strafing past Othams coming in there from Stefan, just lasering him down. That's not enough firepower to contend with that, really. Surprised he's not sending the strats in to go after that Monkey Lord. He has overwhelming superiority in the air. Maybe he's not wanting to let the cat out of the bag and is thinking about going for a snipe. To be honest, I feel like this poses one of the bigger threats at the moment. 42 minutes gone in this one. Stefan has to be feeling like he should have won by now. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's thinking he's not as far ahead as he is still. Now we've got a trebuchet in the mix. Just taking pot shots at this top left starting location. A little bit of pushing down in the southeast as well from TA. And if he was trying to keep them quiet before, they've definitely been discovered now. TA with one lone ASF's going after some of the strap bombers. He is finally going to use them offensively. Takes out a couple of bricks. He takes out a couple more. TA enacts stealth, but it's not going to help those planes. So many ASFs on the field for our Seraphim player. But still, TA taking down a lot of those strats. How many we've got left? And another nuke out for TA. Stefan with 10 strap bombers on the field. Where's it headed? It's going straight up for the main base. No, there is a nuke defense, but oh my god, it so nearly has an anti-nuke in it. Stefan trying to move his comm out of the area, but will he get it out in time? No! Oh, it's going to be close. No, it's not. Oh my god, that's an amazing comeback. What do you think? TA has been scuttled down here in this corner for what has been the best part of about 20 minutes now. And with some choice nukes and some good pressure in the right places, gives himself enough airtime to bag the comm kill with that nuke. And I think even if he didn't get the comm there, the way things were going, it seemed that Stefan had no real answer to him. Still, phenomenal play from both of them. Great work from Stefan as well to get himself ahead in that one. Like I was saying earlier, he really was playing out of his skins in the early game, but just didn't have the right strategy to pull off the finish. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'm going to try and get out another one this week, and then it's going to hopefully settle into a more regular routine of uploads. And what I'm thinking of doing is maybe uploading on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But as I say, we'll have to see how we go. In the meantime, as always, stay well and stay safe. This is Gyle, signing out.